So I think it's important we go over one of the most viable and has been one of the most viable loot runs there is. Let's talk about it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Exfil and Hideout. My name is Ghost. If you guys have never been here before, I'm super excited you guys are here. Sorry about the lull in videos. As you can see behind me, we have some boxes and most of the room is getting packed up. We are like 80% done with packing up the room. I am moving in just a couple weeks, so I'm trying to get everything prepared and do things between multiple houses. And so that is why, trust me though, we will get back on schedule and get a lot more videos pumping out. Before we get into this video, which is an amazing loot run that I want you guys to partake in, especially with wipe probably around the corner, this is going to be a great loot run for that time. It is right now, and it has been the entire wipe. You guys can follow along on Twitch every single morning. We stream except for Sunday, and yeah, I'd love to have you guys by. Other than that, if you guys get value out of the video, make sure you smash the like button. It does go a long way for the channel, and you can always subscribe to the channel if you want to be notified when videos go live, and it's free. Let's get into the video. So first things first, where is this loot run going to be happening? This loot run, or well, let's say the last loot run, if you guys want to follow along with the loot series, we have a whole playlist for you on YouTube. The last one covered both of the chalets and leaving through Red Rebel, which is also a very, very good loot run. It's very quick. This one is also very quick, but I think it's a little bit better. But the last time we went over here, and then we went over here, and then we left through Red Rebel. This time we are going to be going through the Shoreline Village. Okay, so we're going to be going through this whole area, and I'm going to show you a couple ways that you can get there. Now, if you have any of these spawns back here, what I typically do is I browse through if these haven't been looted heavily, and then I continue to go up the mountain. So I'll browse through the chalets, then I'll go up the mountain and then down into the Shoreline Village. The other common spawn is over here on the shore. If you get that spawn, what you're going to want to do is you are going to want to essentially SJ if you can, and you can run the front in the very beginning because people are trying to get to the chalets and they're not looking at the front for the most part. They are going to go up here, which takes them a while to get there. So you can actually run from here, go through here and go along the front, and then as soon as you get over here, you're going to cross the street and then start looting Shoreline, and then you're going to encounter probably this spawn and then maybe this spawn, depending on if this spawn goes and hunts rogues over here, or if this spawn crosses first going to Marin Car and then crossing over. You guys could cross right around here. Now, typically you have to think about where the looting points are, and people are on Lighthouse for a couple reasons. One, the loot. Two, for rogues. That is a majority of people. Now, I'm sure that there's other quests that people are doing, like for instance, when people sit up here and they snipe scavs along the road, that's something that people are doing. And then people who are just trying to inconvenience other people by hiding in the bushes and waiting for people to come out of the heavy looting areas. Okay, so when we get this spawn, I'm going to show you guys more in depth when I'm actually on the ground, but these are typically where we're going to go. We're trying to at all times get to this looting location as fast as possible and maybe engage one or two teams before we're able to grab all of the loot in this area, cross over here and grab a couple things that I'm going to show you, and then we're going to extract here. The dope thing about extracting here and doing this loot run is it's always there. And what I mean by always there, I'm talking about the extract. Everybody, no matter what, will have this extract, so you can always do it without Red Rebel, without anything else. You don't need money for car, and it's always available, which makes this loot run very strong. The other thing that makes this loot run very strong is the large 4x3 crates have got buffed, and there has been silent loot buffs as well. I'm talking like finding Bitcoin in jackets and duffel bags, and people said, well, duffel bags always spawned rare stuff. It was just really rare. Well, now it's a lot less rare. I'm finding intel, double intel in duffel bags, jackets, weapon boxes. The big weapon crates are spawning a lot more loot. So it makes this run even better, but the run has literally been good the entire wipe. Even when they nerfed Lighthouse loot twice. I checked it after, still ran it after, checked it after the second time, still ran it, and no matter how many times they seem to try to nerf the loot on this map just has crazy loot. Now, a lot of people don't like running it because of optimization. That's a completely different topic and stuff like that. We're not talking about optimizing your PC, but we are going to talk about the sweet loot, where to get it, and all that. So let's get into that. Okay, so we actually spawned up in the mountains. If you ever get this spawn, you typically only have to worry about two people. One is going to be in Shoreline Village. The other one is going to be straight across from us. So usually I'll just check here right away to see if they're pushing towards the rogues over here, or if they're going to be trying to line up a shot with us, which they're going to be peeking over here, or they're going to be peeking over, I think it's right around here. They can stand up. So just do a quick peek and we'll stay here forever. And then we're just gonna, you know, keep in mind that they're back there, and we're gonna push down into this original village. Now, typically this original village I will hit last because the loot isn't really that good in comparison to the whole shoreline village. I don't want somebody like in our village looting while I'm over here like only grabbing a couple things. But when we first come over here, the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna go over to the water. And as we get over here, we're gonna start looking towards the top of these mountains, because by time we get over here, that spawn could have went over here as well. And looking to see if anybody crosses bridge. They'll typically sit under this little lip right here, or they'll sit along the top of this. Oh, I'm going too far. I got sidetracked by looking up there. We're gonna look up there, and then we're gonna come down to this van, and we're gonna look right here. Stuff can spawn in these right there. As you can see, stuff can spawn right there. And then right here is gonna be the rare spawn. You can get transmitters in here. Right here, we see a badge. Let's go ahead and grab that. Sometimes you have to lay down to grab stuff. It's kind of weird. Is it not gonna let me pick this up at all? Huh. There we go. Okay, so we got that. We'll go ahead and grab this, because normally I would grab a condensed milk. 15k real quick. We got some ammo there, some juice there. Okay, now we're gonna go back in the village. We're gonna check in here for moonshine. Moonshine can spawn on these shelves. It can spawn on top of here, and it can spawn on top of here where this is. Go in here, check the top of that real quick, and we're gonna go to the left side, and we have a 4x3 crate in here that we're gonna search. Grab those two. Big bag with a rig inside, so we can grab plenty of loot, and we're gonna easily fill this up. Typically you can min max and still go out with a full bag. I've come in here with double LBT rigs and still fill them up. So for as fast as you can hit this loot run, once you guys get this loot run down, you can hit it in 11 minutes. I can hit this entire loot run and extract in 11 minutes. Now, obviously it depends on if you're like pausing because of a 3-man and stuff like that. It depends on how many people you run into. I typically run into like one team, solo, duo, trio, all that stuff. Usually one team per run. And that is usually who spawns in here, because who spawns in here will tend to sit in here and loot. Well, since I'm a very special human, I forgot my lighthouse keys, so we're starting over. Not really though. The whole beginning part is still viable. But as we come into this area, we're going to be coming into the more shoreline village. Now, typically where you find somebody when you're running this way is you are finding somebody right in the front of this area. They're either crossing down into this house to loot it. They're either crossing right here. I don't know why people don't go into this side of the fence. They actually come around a lot and they go in the back part right here. Or as you get to right here, you'll have somebody peeking over this little rock right here. It's really hard to see, but you'll see them right here and then right here. And a lot of times they are looking for you, because when you start on that side, there's not, if you're not staying and sniping, there's only a couple houses right there and then Marin House. Most of the time people use the shore and they go and they hunt rogues. So if you're not doing that, you end up coming in here because there's literally nothing else for you. So it's very common for people to run in like we are doing. So just be mindful of just watching this area as you run in. First things first, we're gonna hit the weapon box. Take the cowboy hat. Then we're gonna go into the store. Now in the store, you can have a bunch of stuff on the shelf. See how we have food and drink, as well as this one. Sometimes I'll just look for sugar, essentially, on both of these shelves. Then you're gonna grab this room. This room is the store key, convenience store storage room. This is actually a really good key. When it first started, like when Lighthouse first opened, there was like nothing in here ever. Now you'll have stuff on these shelves. As you can see, stuff on these shelves. We have this, we have a dead scab, and then we have 2 gold spawns. We have this spawn right here, and then this spawn right here. So definitely worth. We don't need the cowboy hat. We're gonna have plenty of loot. Typically, I don't min-max this early. I just grab everything. But on a couple things, I will grab this. Okay, we're gonna grab this. And we're gonna be going in here. Now, if you hear wood when you're running up to this area, that's because there's guys in one of these 2 areas. So when you come around the corner, you can just kind of look to see if they're right here, and keep listening, and you can always approach them from like right here. The other place you're going to be looking right away is right here. This is another spot that they're going to be watching if they are still sitting up on the hill. Now we're going to go straight up and to the right, because this is one of the best rooms you can get. You have a rare spawn right here, like ASA. You can get Bitcoin. You can get Vertexes, VPXs, all that stuff. And then here as well. Okay, grab that. We're going to go into this room. On the ironing board, you can get ammo and then I think food as well. So you can grab sugar. There's a gold spawn up here. Just got to look sometimes for the dot because it doesn't always show. And then sometimes you can get like power banks and rechargeable batteries right there. The jacket does nothing. The duffels have been spawning crazy loot, guys. You have to be checking these duffels. You can grab those masks if you want to use them for a tech trade, but other than that, they're not really priced anymore. Gold spawn right here. You can get rechargeable batteries and things right there. Check the table for food, sugar, essentially. Anytime I'm looking for a food spawn, even though food is actually pretty good loot, if you guys have a look, most of the food is super inflated right now. So it's about 20K, 25K, 26K. So it is worth grabbing for a single slot, but we have the toolbox. Right here, actually, you get intel and gold. I was just in the middle of talking when we went over there. Stims and random meds on the bed, as well as on the floor, like this CMS. Hit all of the med bags and little tiny med boxes. Ophthalmoscopes have been spawning in them. Zagastine is really good. We'll go ahead and drop that. We'll go ahead and put this in our injector case. Now we're going to go down, and we're going to go right away to the right. I mean to the left, sorry. Rare spawn in here where this magnet is. You can get transmitters, VPXs, Vertexes, and GPUs. Up here, you can get moonshine and vodka, as well as ammo. Sugar check. You're gonna be checking right there on the corner of the table, and you're gonna be checking right here in this little green box. Run across. You're gonna have a spawn right here. You have a spawn right there. You have a spawn right here, as I'm looking at it. And then you have the bag. Like Tashanka was 25K earlier. So really, if you guys, that's a whole nother idea, going to interchange and just filling up on food. You have a gold spawn right here, gold spawn right here, and then bag right here. So if you guys see me going up to things, even though I don't see anything, the reason why I do that is because sometimes some of the gold spawns will spawn stuff and you won't see it. Like a GP coin or a Bitcoin, you won't see it sometimes because it's in the chair. So I just kind of browse over here and look for a dot. If there's no dot, then I just move. Now, typically when you come over here, I usually run on the left side of the truck just because if there is somebody that is trying to shoot me and they miss, I have cover versus being in no cover. We're gonna go over here. There's a 4x3 crate and 2 spawns right here and right here. We're gonna go ahead and drop this now. It's about that time. We're already starting to min-max. Now let's go ahead and open this. What are we keeping for sure? We're keeping teapot, thermometer, red gunpowder, and ratchet. We're keeping that, and we're keeping that. We're gonna put the key in here, and we're gonna start moving stuff up so that I have space and know what we might be keeping and what we might not be keeping. We'll keep the 2x2s open just in case we find like propane motors or PSUs. Hit the jacket. This is actually a bad habit. When you hit this jacket, hit it like this. Sorry. They can snipe you from the mountains really easily. Got a hose right here. Check the shelves like this. And then also check on the box and on the floor right there. Toolbox right here. This is another one. This is completely up to you if you want to loot it. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It depends on where I hear shots. Run up the mountain, and we're just going to be looking up right here when we come up here, just to make sure that we don't see anybody. People do literally sit here the entire raid just waiting for people to come down below, and they can get easy kills. You're going to go in here. We have a light right there. Got a box. Gauge, very good. On the floor, you find stuff like right there, and then on the table like that, and then right here on this box. Another 4x3. This one, we're just going to browse again. See if we see anybody. You're kind of covered from the trees, and then we'll loot it like this. We're going to go ahead and toss that. Toss that, toss that. We're already grabbing enough loot right now. This is Hillside House. This house is honestly mostly unlooted. We're going to keep browsing that top area every time. Hillside house key opens going in. Good to know, because some doors that open going out, you have to make sure you back up in time. Where is it at? Hillside house right here. Hillside house key. We're gonna run straight in, and we're gonna go for the good stuff, which is right here and right here under. Hit the bag. Got an ASA. We'll go ahead and put that in the 2x2 slot that we've been saving for. We'll take that, drop that. The other good spot is actually right there. Then in here, there's another good spot. So we usually have food on the table right here. And then in here, you can get Bitcoin, GP coin, other gold, I believe LEDX, like all kinds of rare stuff. Here, you usually get like iridium. You can get the little military filters and stuff like that, as well as under there. Typically, I'll put this in here. And then we have a jacket. Okay. We're going to go ahead and cross into here. If you don't want to make noise, you could just go through here, right there. We're going to run straight into here. Another 4x3. Got a battery. We're just going to grab the battery for XP. That's typically what I do. And then it's not worth taking. Too many slots and not enough ruble. Grab those. We're going to run up here. There's a bag right here. Also, there used to be a gold spawn on this table. If you guys remember, please tell me in the comments. But there used to be a gold spawn on this table. I haven't seen it in an extremely long time, so I just stopped looking. We have a jacket right here. Go ahead and drop those. Ooh, RBAK, that's a really good key. Now in here, you can find GPU and rare tech items right here. And then on this shelf, you can find gold. So look at there, and then you can find food on this shelf, and then right here as well. So sugar, there's another 4x3 hidden back here, as well as you've been able to find vodka right here. Pretty common. Headset, we're not going to keep the headset. Thermometer and bolts we're going to keep. So as you guys can see, I've been tossing loot this entire time. It's more than easy to fill a big bag with a rig inside. Grab there, got loot there, got loot there, right here, and then right here. Now, instead of going out in the open, not only for them to see you, but for across to see you, and then also coming out and having this whole area be open to you and this whole area, because you can't get into the fence until you get like way over here. What we're going to do is we're actually going to go back here for a hidden loot spot, and so that we don't have to deal with all of that. Right back here, there's a med bag. Ooh. How many of you knew about this already? Let me know. And then we have the backside right here. We're going to go up here. Okay. It's really hard for somebody to see you. Plus, you could hear if they're up there, so you know if you need to toss a nade or not. We're going to jump up on this rock right here. And then from this rock, we can jump in here. Come into here. We have gold that spawns right here. Ammo and food on the couch. Food right here. Rare spawn right there. Rare spawn right here. I'm talking like GPU, VPX, Vertex, ASA, stuff like that. On the desk, you can find power banks and rechargeable batteries. Power banks, rechargeable batteries. Here is very commonly, you can find gold and a pro kill, which is really nice. Food typically spawns right here. You can find ammo on the bed and on the shelf. Nothing really spawns in that room anymore. There was something that used to spawn right here. I believe it was gold. And then I think that might be it for in here. But I haven't seen nothing in this room for a long time, so I don't think anything spawns there anymore. When we come out here, up to you if you want to make noise, but there's a toolbox right here. Okay. Then we're going to run around and we're going to hit this little shed. This little shed has a lot of good loot in it. Check the floor. Right here is a spawn. All the shells have a spawn, like this chlorine. You have a toolbox. Wires, tube. Check this desk. And then check these right here, as well as this jacket. Now, typically, right around this time is where I would actually go down right here And in the beginning of the video, I showed you guys, because we had that spawn originally, I showed you guys where the 4x3 is, where the car is, where all the rare loot over there is, moonshine and stuff. So that's typically where I would go. And then I would come back, coming back up before we end the run. Now, it really depends on how much loot I have too, because sometimes I'm lazy and I just don't go across. And also depends on how hot I think it is, like hot as in like a lot of PMCs or whatever. Then we're gonna go in here. We're gonna check right here. Gonna grab this toolbox. Typically, we have more than enough loot. Green battery. Those are gonna be really nice early wipe. And for the most of the wipe, they've been like 600K. We have another 4x3 crate. We'll put these in here for some extra room. That's already full now. We have a gas analyzer, plug. Check the table for drinks and sugar. Check here for ammo and food. Ammo is usually on the right side. We're gonna go in here. We're gonna check on the floor. Stuff can spawn. On the table, stuff can spawn. Right here, stuff can spawn. There's actually 2 spawns right here. On the corner of this box, stuff can spawn. Most of it is like hoses, military cables, stuff of that nature. Tools, that table. We're gonna go in here. Right away, we have a bag. This is a really good building for the type of loot that spawns here. You can get food, I think there, maybe ammo. Now we have a gold spawn here, as you can see. We have a gold spawn here. We have a gold spawn there, and then you have an intel spawn right here. So it could be really strong. Always check this room. A lot of people skip this house thinking nothing's in it. Then you always have food in here for the most part. On the table, as you can see, we got that there. We got this here. Food's still good grab. In the sink, you can get hoses and other types of weird things, thermometers and stuff. You have a jacket right here that you could be checking. I already grabbed that, and then we are going to dip. Typically, I will go this way, even though there's nothing to really loot over here, but I run through here to block myself from people who try to watch people extracting here. It does happen. It doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen. Luckily, it's foggy, so that nothing would happen. But from running over here, this hillside that people sit on will actually be able to see you running all over here. So I'll run back here. Typically, if I'm out of stamina, I will stop right here. So it blocks line of sight, and then we will continue on our little journey of going down here. And most of the time you do stuff like this is because you've been killed enough times to know, like, all right, it's not worth it being completely full of loot. You come down here and you extract. Now, before we extract, let's go ahead and look at what we have. So we have some good loot. We have green battery, a lot of this stuff vendors for a lot. We have bolts, which usually sell for a lot. In here, we have a GP coin, a really good key, another small key. We have an ASA, a couple gauges, thermometers, or I mean, a couple thermometers, a gauge, a teapot, red gunpowder, ratchet. These are all like pretty nice items. And we were min-maxing the entire time, so we could even have more items if we didn't really care. There is things I would still min-max if I wanted to cross the river, or if I wanted to look around a little bit more. I would probably get rid of the toilet paper. I would probably get rid of the horse, the cigarettes, unless you use it for the BS barter and stuff like that. But essentially, we got a really good loot run. Now, you can knock this out in 11 minutes once you get your little stuff down, if you're not running into like too much trouble with like PMCs and fighting. So you can do it decently fast, especially if you run 3BT or SJ. That's going to help with your attention, perception, listening. So it's like the ultimate looting combo because you have tons of stamina, so you don't have to wait. You just keep looting, and then you can get out of here pretty quickly. So an hour of doing this run, you can make some crazy ruble. That's gonna wrap it up, guys. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching another loot video. This is part 2 of the Lighthouse loot guides. So if you guys want to see the rest of them, I will make sure that they are linked somewhere. And then also there is a whole playlist for looting. So if you guys want to see more loot runs and watch it, you totally can. If you guys got some value out of the video, share it with a friend. Make sure you like for the algorithm and YouTube. It goes a long way. And then you can always subscribe for more free content. And then you can hit the bell if you want to be notified when videos go live. I would love for you guys to stop by the stream. I do these runs live all the time. If you have questions in the moment, feel free to stop by the stream every single morning on Twitch, except for Sunday. I hope you guys are very blessed. Hope you have an amazing day or night, depending on where you're at in the world. And don't go anywhere. There's more videos for you. They're over here. So if you want to see more loot runs, weapon builds, anything like that, check out the videos. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Happy raids, my friend.